Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. Right, today we're going to be talking about 7.2 rewards a bit more because yesterday when I was recording my initial video, it actually hadn't kind of fully settled in. And right now I have had obviously time to sleep on it. I had more conversations about it on my evening and on my morning stream, and I have had the opportunity to hear several different opinions. And I am personally in a very unpleasant and weird place with 7.2 rewards, where in fact the situation with the rewards has largely kind of like plummeted down my excitement for the content. If 2 days ago I was super hyped for 7.2 coming, I was thinking whether to do Legends run or whether to just go jump in it straight away, and I was like looking forward to that piece of content. And I know with my brain that it can still be a great piece of content. Obviously, there's no need to feel that way, but I do. And it has perhaps less to do with the actual amount of stuff that we are getting and more to do with Kabam and the thought process behind it. Because it didn't actually dawn upon me that the completion rewards are exactly the same. Path explorations are exactly the same. The difference from 7.1 to 7.2 rewards can literally be described in three little tiny lines. That is addition of these negligible amount of fragments, which again is quite insulting considering the fact that 3-4 times that amount has been offered for sale. So this really means very little to absolutely nothing. And I can guarantee you that a year down the line, 1/10 of a tier 3 alpha catalyst, or one whatever it is, what is it, 5%, 1/20th of a tier 3 alpha catalyst, it's gonna mean absolutely nothing. I can promise you that a year down the line, we are probably gonna be buying that amount with our glory and several times over. So addition of those here just feels at that amount feels in relatively poor taste. Now, obviously, I do not expect them to throw these catalysts at us, but I would expect them to at least match the amount that they put on for sale initially, at the very least. And obviously, the second edition is 25% tier 5 class catalyst fragment crystal, which is neat, which is nice, but again, if that is the only change that Act 6 represents, sorry, Act 7.2 represents from 7.1, it does not sit well with me. And unfortunately, I do think that this kind of showcases no new trend in Kabam's thinking, which for several months now, I have been emphasizing how lazy a lot of new content feels. How Act 7 felt, Variant 7 felt lazy, because that was just a mix mash of all the previous variants. There have been many different instances of that where the compensation for AQ screw up felt lazy because everybody got whatever universal compensation rather than them actually taking the time and effort to go over what alliances normally earn, or at the very least divide them by player progression levels. And in this case, again, it just seems utterly lazy. And if gaming company is that lazy with their reward structure, why should I reward them with enthusiastic approach towards the content? And again, my brain still fully wants to like Act 7.2. I am happy that it is coming. But the situation here with the rewards just stings. It just kind of like once again serves to be that story of Kabam baking a beautiful cake. And I said I will post a node breakdown, which I will do. Perhaps not today, but I definitely will go over the new nodes and what I think about them before 7.2 comes. But it looks interesting. It looks something that I would want to play. So that I would call Kabam baking an excellent cake. And they often do. They often have about 80% of the job done close to perfection. Putting bugs aside, putting everything else aside. They had me. They intrigued me, and I was fully immersed and expecting Act 7 to be amazing piece of content. Now, it still can be amazing piece of content. Let me get that clear. I'm not by any means trying to judge 7.2 without even playing it. But then the last 20% of job remains. And that felt like a big dump on top of that cake that Kabam had baked. We can also take a look here historically with every single act prior to that. Let's go take a look at Act 6. 6.1 rewards, 9,000 tier 5 basic fragments, 2,000 whatever. Well, basically, they are in front of us. In sum total, they give us 6,000 6-star shards, 13,000 5-star shards, 1 tier 5 basic with 9,000 fragments. Right? That's 6.1. Take a look at 6.2. We got 22,500, so there is increase in that. We have 10,000 6-star shards. So again, we have nearly double the amount of 6-star shards. We have 25,000 5-star shards and 8 Kamala catalysts. So there is a significant increase in the rewards from 6.1 to 6.2. You can take a look at Act 5. 5.1 awards 1,000 5-star shards, 1 4-star crystal, 2 tier 4 basics. Right? It's very humble rewards by today's standard, but still, it's our measuring line. And then we have 1,900, again, nearly double. So historically, the most valued treasured shards / resources have been pretty much doubled up from these chapters. You can take a look how it's going to go from 6.2 to 3, for instance, as well. At this point, again, we have steady increase of the rarest catalyst at the time, which was, well, second rarest catalyst, which was tier 5 basic. We have even further increase in 6-star shards, and we have even further increase in 5-star shards. So historically, up until right now, that has always been, let's not say groundbreaking, but a relatively straightforward, decent increase in the most valuable items. Signature stones, catalyst, crystal shards. And this time, obviously there's none. Literally, again, it's such a shame that the only difference between 7.1 and 7.2 rewards, and let me get another thing perfectly straight. I don't think 7.1 rewards are bad. 7.1 rewards were actually probably slightly bit better than I expected. But the lack of progression, especially at a time when the game's changing drastically, when rank 4 6-stars are being teased, when they're selling these fragments, and looking at this, it's quite literally the meme of they are the same picture. It almost feels as if though they added anything to it just for the sake of it, just so they could say that they're not the same. There's no progression in 6-star shards, there's no progression in 6-star signature stones, and there's no progression obviously in 6-star crystals, hardly any progression in tier 5 class catalyst fragments, no progression on the path rewards. And again, I'm looking at these rewards and I'm not saying that they are bad, it's a bad amount for the content that we're going to have to do. I think Act 7.1 is one of the more rewarding pieces of content in the game. But looking at this does not feel great at all. And I do not understand why Kabam consistently insists on ruining players' experience on the final few meters, on the final details. And they do this a lot. And I generally do not understand why. 7.2 or any release of new story mode content should be viewed as kind of like a time of celebration when everybody's hyped, when everybody's excited. There is very, very few occasions in game when there's like more anticipated piece of content coming out. I'd say that above the latest chapters of the story content, only kind of like the Everest content exceeds the hype levels typically. And then they just go ahead and destroy the hype levels. And I genuinely do not think that adding 10,000 6-star shots, adding some tier 5 basics, adding 5-10 extra signature stones would have been hurtful for the economy. I really do not think so, considering how much of that they sell, how much, considering Karina's challenges and how much stuff was in those, considering the fact that we're having Summer of Pain, considering the fact that we're going to be having this Grandmaster's Gauntlet, and those will clearly have a decent chunk of rewards. I am befuddled by the idea of Act 7 rewards being as stagnant as they are. And again, looking at them objectively, as set amount of rewards for set amount of effort that I will have to put in, it's not a horrible set of rewards. But they do feel much more underwhelming than they are, and that matters. I have had at least 3 people who have come to me that are viewers on my channel said, that's it, I'm leaving that. This has completely killed my excitement. The fact that they sell so much more of tier 3 alpha and tier 6 basics than they are allowed to earn, the fact that there's no progression, the fact that they consistently insist on kind of taking a big dump on their most important projects. I said, that's it. And it's a weird one for me, because it definitely has affected what I think and how much I am hyped for this piece of content. And I don't want to jump at everybody's throats, and there's obviously going to be some wankers in comment section. Oh, you didn't like the game, don't play. It's like, shut up. Don't like my video, don't watch it. But it's one of those things where I understand that I shouldn't feel as bad as I do about it. So I'm not able to quite put my finger on it. Why did this mean so much to me? Why does this matter so much? Because it does. And the more I'm thinking about it, I think it always goes down to the attitude Kabam repeatedly displays towards their customer base. Like, they have Karina's challenge, and they put that Cyclops versus Collector shit, which is a miserable time for everybody, and where you're just meant to go and die. It's a joke taken far too far, and not a single healthy-minded human being would have included that in game. That is nothing more than Kabam making fun of their player base. And this doesn't fall far from it. This just displays utter lack of common sense. Because whoever put these rewards together should have known, should have expected backlash. But they don't care. So I think it's quite a bit less about rewards, but quite a bit more about Kabam's current attitude towards their players. Let me know what you think. Maybe you love the rewards. In that case, probably wasn't the video for you. Or tell me, why do you think Kabam consistently keeps doing this? Anyhow, I'm gonna catch you guys soon. See ya. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information